We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
A very good morning. It's 5 minutes past 11 this fantastic, fun-filled Friday. Right here on the Midday Show with me, Ifunanya, on Lagos Talks 91.3.
People can't see me dancing. I'm
Listen,
dancing.
there's a reason why Shehu is dancing. Because guess what, guys? This is our first episode sponsored by...
Say it again. Stop. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
It's our first episode sponsored.
We have arrived,
guys. We have arrived.
Nobody should talk to
It's
me
been a long
anymore.
time coming. Listen.
Nobody should talk to us anymore.
Exactly.
We are now big boys.
Put some
and girls here.
respect, some more respect on
Yes,
TPP.
I mean, this is the people's perspective. Talk
I
to
love
us
it.
with respect.
Talk to us with some respect. Okay. All right, guys. Today's episode is brought to you by Adam and Eve, which is a luxury home store. And listen, first of all, before we get into it, Shehu and I got the opportunity to visit Adam and Eve, and we were blown away.
You know, when you think that you know what your life needs, then you go to a place that now shows you that your life is missing certain things.
A lot of things that you didn't know. And their vision is to inspire luxury living defined by comfort, elegance, and creativity.
And this is personal luxury, as the lovely lady that owns the place described to me, because it's really about wellness. It's, if you want to imagine this store, think Bed Bath and Beyond. If you've ever been, out of Nigeria where you don't see this store, but then take it up a notch.
Yeah.
Take it up a notch,
Yes.
And I really liked the store because it was like hermetic.
I loved it.
There were no windows, and so the smell,
I loved it.
Oh my goodness!
And I love the fact that it was segmented, so you don't get so confused about which should go where. You know exactly where you're going to. You know exactly what it entails. You have the outdoor segment for anything outdoor. So you have your little couches that you could use in your balcony. So I just loved how it was segmented, and it's just so free-flowing and easy.
Where killed me were the kitchen,
kitchenware. Oh my goodness, the variety.
Me, I'm building house. So, me and my wife, we've been talking about how we're going to ship all our kitchen from London. I was going to go to Marks and Spencer's and buy my kitchen.
So is this the lifestyle of a musician?
And, because, it's better to buy it once than buy a kitchen in Lagos and be repairing it, fixing it. So I remember that my uncle one time when he was building his house, went and shipped his entire kitchen.
No way.
So I was going to do the same thing.
But
I think,
thankfully,
I think I found somewhere.
Yeah, we definitely
Adam and
have.
Eve, baby.
Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve.
So, guys,
and please, if you know you're not ready to spend money on your wife, don't take her there. Then, if you, as a man, you can go to that store and escape. But if you take your wife,
I love it. Anyways, guys, welcome to today's episode of The People's Perspective, brought to you by Adam and Eve. We have a few top stories that we're going to be touching on today.
Can I summarize the story for today? Today's story can be summarized in 3 words.
No. What are the 3 words?
Buhari, and more.
Oh, wow.
Buhari.
Well, yeah, to be honest. I mean, if you look at it that way, yeah, you're very correct. You're very, very correct. All right, so we definitely are going to talk about the Twitter ban, all that has happened till right now, and what next. Because, of course, you've heard about the social media license or registration that is imminent. So we're going to be talking about that. We are also going to be talking about, specifically, it's a specific area because the interview that the president had with Arise News was quite lengthy. But there are specific areas that we want to touch on where he did speak on.
But let's say the truth. That thing was not really an interview.
It was. He was addressing us.
Interview is that the journalist asks a question.
Yes.
And you answer that question. This was gisting. The journalist will ask Buhari a question. The journalist will ask about foreign investment. Buhari will talk about NSAS. So please let's not say that this is an interview. This was an interview.
Anyways, so we're going to talk. We will touch on that as well. So let us start off with this. Now, for those who have not necessarily followed what's been going on with Twitter, this is what happened. So about last week, right? We got information. Okay, no, before even that, the ban came. Remember, we spoke about the president addressing the cessationist groups, especially the ones in the southeast, talking about those that were accused of breaking down and also burning down some federal government infrastructure, right? And so I remember that the chairman of INEC came to give the president a report, and hence the president then responded to it. And he had a few choice words to say, and he made reference to the Civil War. Now, that was transcribed into a tweet. It was put on his page as a thread, and a lot of people reported it because they felt like it was inciting violence. And with Twitter, right, being a private platform as well, they have their rules and their regulations. And they took down the tweet saying that it went against their rules and their regulations. Now, Nigeria, or the Nigerian government, saw it as an insult.
How dare he?
How dare you do such a thing? The president of a nation?
A sovereign nation, for that matter.
A sovereign nation. And so the federal government then decided to respond, saying, and I quote, the federal government has suspended indefinitely the operations of the microblogging and social network service Twitter in Nigeria. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, announced the suspension in a statement issued in Abuja, citing the persistent use of this platform for activities that are capable of undermining Nigerians' corporate existence.
Are they mad?
How dare they?
How dare they?
How dare
Are they mad? First of all, I think this whole thing was just all handled with so much crassness on all sides. From the way the media of Nigeria reported Buhari's tweet. First of all, we talk in Nigeria as if, the Northerners are not going through hell under this Buhari also. Under this administration, they are dying and now they are being kidnapped. Kidnapping was not so much, they were just dying before. Now they are dying, they are being kidnapped, they are displaced. There are over 3 million internally displaced Nigerians in the north.
Yeah.
So what threat do you want Buhari to give them in the north again?
When they're already experiencing
what they want to now bring to the east and to the south. You understand? So, and we are now giving them the opportunity to bring this violence to us by, fueling it, by not calming down, not being sentimental, to see the full picture of what is truly going on. You understand? Because right now in Nigeria, no part of Nigeria has it as bad as the north.
True.
The people of the north, and they are our brothers and sisters. So when we talk as if Buhari is just threatening Easterners while leaving Northerners alone in peace, this is we are not actually getting the full picture of what is going on, because this is an attack on all Nigerians from east to north. These people don't have tribes anymore. Their tribe is elite. Finish. That's the tribe they belong to. They don't care if you are Hausa, if you are in the way, they will rob you off. All we are to them in this country is a means to an end. All of us. That's why all their children have foreign passports. All Nigerian politicians, let them bring out all their children, the one that doesn't have foreign passports. Let them bring them. So how can you think that anybody that has already secured another country for their future generations, where they store all their money, are thinking about Northerners? They are not. They've gone past Nigeria ethnic. Nigeria now, for them, they are just accumulating with it. Finish. They have no vision for the country. They have no dream. When they say Buhari came to open railroad, it's to carry goods and services. Now that the road is too dangerous for their goods and services, they have to invest in rail by force to carry their goods. It's not about the Nigerian people. If it's about the Nigerian people, is it that kind of train they will put? Do you know the speeds that train are moving? It's taking how many hours? 2 hours to get to Ibadan from Lagos by train. How slow is that train? When trains are moving in the world today at 300 kilometers, 350 kilometers per hour. Look at the roads we have in Nigeria. These roads, are they fit for human? Is it for human beings they build these roads? This road is for goods. Anything this government does, these people,
for their own personal interest.
These people, whatever they do is for goods, for their business. If you have internet in this country, it's because business needs internet. If you have anything in this country, it's because business needs it, not because the people need it. So when we talk about Buhari as if he hates only Igbo people, we are not getting the full picture. We are not getting the full picture, and then Twitter jumps in. With all their billions, they can investigate, they can even inform Nigerians properly of what is going on. Then they do what they say that they're against. You rub off somebody's speech. While they leave many, even worse speech on social media.
But Seun, let me come in there for a second. Remember, Twitter goes according to rules and regulations.
I know, I agree.
If people report that tweet, then Twitter acts. However, those other tweets, those questionable tweets, if people didn't report it, Twitter by themselves may not take it down.
It's a lie. They flag things by themselves, even without being. They have, these algorithms that they use to flag so-called dangerous tweets and things like that. And people don't even really have to report these days anymore because they are trying to police. But this is the same social media that gives us cyberbullying. You understand? And that nothing is being done by these large corporations to stop this thing that is even affecting young people more than Buhari's tweets. You understand? It's even more dangerous than Buhari's tweets. Our young people, how many suicides did we have last year from social media?
And that's very true, Seun. Whilst I agree with that, however, when the president of a country makes a statement that is inciting, it's different.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not in support of what Buhari said, in any ramifications. I'm just saying, in the context, they make it sound ethnic, while it wasn't really against one group. It's against the entirety of Nigeria.
But Seun, you know how they say it's only the person that wears the shoes that knows how it itches them. What if the ethnic group themselves felt like it was targeted towards them?
Everybody is entitled to their feelings. You cannot take that away from people. But we as a nation, we must shape things properly in the national context of the issue. Whatever language he has said that they understand, that language is being spoken in the north. This is what I'm saying. That language is being spoken in the north right now, louder than ever before, against northern Nigerian people. His own kith and kin. His own people are dying by the thousands every day. If we died like that in the southwest, the way they are dying in the north like this, everybody would not run come out for this Nigeria. We would not run. All of them, the way I know us in Lagos. If we hear people they die like that, for Ibadan alone, if we hear people they die like that, by the thousands, whole towns deserted. You understand what I'm saying? So this is we have to shape these people in their true form, so that we don't think that Buhari is standing for the common man of the north, and we think that he's the champion of northern agenda. What northern agenda? Even if there's a northern agenda, it excludes the northern people. It is a northern elitist agenda. Because we see how our northern brothers are living. They are still under Arab domination till tomorrow. They are still under colonization till tomorrow. Where Hausa children are poured into the street as Alimajiri, where the Fulanis rule over them. They're in the north. And we just lump everybody together and make these assertions as if they are all involved in this conspiracy. We cannot shape this nation with this kind of, sentimental analysis. We must analyze this country from the perspective of the people. And northerners are our people too, whether we like it or not. At least in this stage of this country. And what they are going through right now it's worse than anything happening anywhere else in this country.
Okay, Seun, can it be seen this way? Before we go further on this.
Now, him proscribing Twitter immediately is not the right response neither. Okay. I did an interview about it some days ago and I said, Buhari's response is the response of a weak nation. You understand? If, for example, Switzerland president tweets something that Twitter takes down, you think he's going to ban Twitter? He's going to call Jack Dorsey to come and see him. And he knows if he calls Jack Dorsey will answer. Immediately, he will get in his private jet in America and fly to Switzerland to meet with him. He will discuss whatever it is and he will slap Twitter with a fine as usual. They will pay their fine and everybody goes on living. But Buhari knows if he calls Jack Dorsey, they'll tell him to hold on. When they tell him to hold on, they don't say, Jack Dorsey is busy, can you come back tomorrow? Twitter, there are companies in America that have more money than Nigeria. Yeah. You understand? So, like a company like Microsoft, for example, worth over $1 trillion. When we rebased Nigeria's economy in 2015, the entire Nigeria was 505 billion. That means Twitter alone is worth twice the entirety of Nigeria economy. You understand the magnitude, the power of such companies? Yeah. You understand? So, Buhari's response was the response of a weak president, and if Nigeria was a great country that represented these people, right, we would be outraged that a foreign company took our president's tweets down, regardless of what they think is our internal issue. He's talking to us. Why will you take our president's tweet down? He's slapping our country's face. But look at it's where we are. It's where we are as African people. that we cannot even now think, why would this company think it can sanction our country, our president, our number one citizen?
Yeah, but hold on for a second, Cheryl. Hold on for a second. It seems like the citizenry believes that Buhari's response was more of a draconian, authoritarian response.
Of course it
right?
was.
Because anything that seems to oppose the stance of this government is seen as a threat.
Yes, of course it was draconian.
Also, this platform...
because he's weak. That's what I said.
And also, this platform has been seen as... Because this platform has been seen as a threat. It's both a tool and a threat for this government.
Not
right?
for this government only.
And for other people. And this being a tool... Indeed. This being a tool, this platform has been very pivotal to the enlightenment of a lot of people, where information dissemination is easy breezy. If anything is happening in any part of the country, we can hear it immediately.
Fake news is also easy breezy.
It is. It most certainly is. And guess what? That's the issue I have with this country.
Balance.
We have existing laws that attack and target these things already.
Yeah.
So rather than enforcing those already existing laws, you're going further, responding in such a draconian way, creating more laws, but these laws end up not being enforced.
Exactly. This is my point. See, I wish people could see the interview I gave Hip TV about this issue. I don't know why we as Nigerians also want to lose sleep. The more we can ignore the eccentricities of this government that doesn't affect us directly, meaning our healthcare, our transport, our feeding, our accommodation, our sanitation, our general well-being. When they are doing their ego trips, we should just ignore them like children throwing tantrums. Because even China cannot enforce their social media ban. I have friends in China that are on Facebook, are on all these social media sites. Easily. Even no matter the billion, you can't enforce. It's difficult. It's really, except the government actually just targets specific users and spends a lot of money to investigate and find where they are staying, and when they tweet it, it's hard to enforce. You understand? So just imagine Nigeria. This is what I said. I said, Nigeria is a country that cannot even enforce simple traffic law. Simple traffic law, Nigeria cannot enforce. In fact, it is the people that are supposed to enforce the traffic law in Nigeria that are the first to break it. You understand what I'm saying? So don't be surprised that it is members of Buhari's cabinet that first jump on Twitter. So don't worry about that in Nigeria. In Nigeria, you see police on one way. Army on one way. People passing one way, police is there. I mean, I live on Allen, right? This thing drives me crazy every day. It's even good that we bring this up. I live on Allen. And Allen now, there used to be a roundabout, but they've changed it now to a boulevard. So it's east, west, north, south, 4-point junction. And there is traffic light there. And the road is clearly marked. There are 3 lanes. If you're on the left lane, you can go left and make a U-turn. If you're on the middle lane, you can only go left, so that you don't block the people trying to make U-turn and delay the traffic. And if you're on the right lane, you can only go straight. This thing is perfect to allow. Last mile, police will be there. People on the 3rd lane will be making U-turn. People on the 2nd lane will make everybody just allow everything to just be. Is that the people that want to enforce Twitter ban?
The reason why people are
massaging their egos.
The reason why people are losing sleep was because this is also an infringement on people's economic rights. People use Twitter as a platform to carry out their legitimate businesses. And listen, it's not just Twitter that is losing, because Lai Mohammed came out saying that apparently Twitter has reached out to them for negotiations, and apparently Twitter has lost a lot in billions because of their inactivity in Nigeria. However, what about the Nigerian citizens who have also lost millions through them not having access to their clientele as easily as they used to? Them not being able to advertise as easily as they used to.
We understand how it can be, how it can hurt people that they've lost their means of livelihood. But losing jobs is as Nigerian as aggregate bread.
That's terrible.
Yes, and you know what? There are many times that we sit back and applaud people losing their jobs, because it is benefiting some of our favorite elites. Like when they privatized the entire textile mill in Nigeria. Dangote took it, sacked over 5,000 workers, and now all the textile mills have collapsed, broken down. It's China that is filling the gap. We all applauded it as business move when they do all these things. Bank retrenches 10,000 workers. The loss of jobs in Nigeria, this oppressive behavior is nothing new. That's why we must struggle in this country. Because there's nowhere you are protected from the transgressions of a corrupt government. People that drive on the road that container fall on their head. Were they protesting? Were they struggling? So there's no... whether you struggle or not, these things will happen to you. So you must struggle in this country. We must struggle to make this, so that these kind of things don't happen. You know, because when it now happens, you cannot shout as if it is something fantastic that nobody has seen before. Oh, I've lost my means of livelihood. Pick a number, my sister.
Wow.
Or pick a number, my brother. Yes. We are picketing every time. Last week, we still picket. You picket. Oh, go and look at what the unions are going through in this country. Do you know how many unions are on strike in this country right now? Do you know how many unions, from court workers to doctors to... Do you know why they are striking? How many Nigerians are showing solidarity to those strikes? You know? So, this is what we're all going through. And everybody wants to fight their fight independently. So, your own fight has come now. You've lost Twitter. Yeah, so join us. Let's go. Maybe we're at the time that they affect everybody. All of us will now join together to create a critical mass. For them. Because I don't know why people are even still working in this country. There should be mass strike in this country. If we love ourselves in this country, we should just look. We don't want to protest, but from what we are seeing, we don't want to work for any one of you right now. We don't want to do anything. Everybody just want to stay home for a week. 1 week warning strike.
All right, Seun, let's take some calls. Please feel free to join the conversation. What are your thoughts about all that we've shared so far? Get on Twitter, get on WhatsApp, 0809 234 5913. You can also call that line directly. You can also call 0809 222 0913 01 515 0913 01 515 1913. Lagos Talks, good morning. Who's speaking, please?
Good morning, Ify, the butterfly.
Hi.
I beg, stop toasting Ify here. Go butterfly.
Now you sabi.
Now only me get to call Ify. I beg. Me, I can't be here in the studio under this kind of rain. Near Ify, you are here. Butterfly now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
I'm happy for you.
Welcome to the show, Jerry.
Be a better, sweet advert for this
Adam and Eve, yes.
Yes, please do it. Great advert.
Yeah.
Like animal water.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. This is Adeyemi.
We know.
Yes,
from their voice, their voice, you will know them.
Indeed.
I put an icing on the cake. You see, in addition to what Seun has been saying, we have all been playing the victim card, but we are all victims now. And what really disturbs me is the fact that we are going to have communication blackout. When you have, Twitter and the rest of them cut out, communication is the first, instrument for national and economic development. I'm surprised that the people in government is talking about money and registration. That doesn't. It's very trivial. But if they look at what communication does to the emancipation of human race, they will even never try to bring Twitter down. As far as I'm concerned, they must reverse themselves very quickly in order to bring our country back on track. Because right now, we are almost living in the animal world, and it is not necessary.
All right, Adeyemi, thank you very much for your take. Lagos Talks.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Who's speaking, please?
I beg your radio.
This feedback. Lagos Talks, good afternoon. Who's speaking, please?
Good morning, Ify and Seun.
Good morning.
By their voices, I know them. My name is
Sebastian. Yep, we know. All right, let's hear you, Sebastian.
Quick one. You see, Seun, you just hit the point. Anytime, when I feel very sad, this song I play.
Which song?
That's your song.
Anima.
Right? Oh, Anima. Hey,
it's my homeboy MZ song. It's MZ song. I featured on it.
So the point is, and it goes back to resonate what your dad said.
Yeah.
Animal is human, skin, animal wear agbada. Right?
Not be lie.
The point I'm trying to say here is that yes, we decided to shut down Twitter. And loads of people. I know of a friend who's lost so much money because of Twitter. He has others, he can't reach those people. He's trying to find other ways of trying to contact those people because of Twitter.
Wow.
And they said in 3 days that the country, Nigeria, lost, is it 4.9 billion naira or so
Wow.
in 3 days?
My goodness.
For the shutdown of Twitter. I was just trying to look at some information. It touches home. It reaches home. And what you're saying is quite nice. Sometimes when it doesn't touch us, we feel it's for the other person.
Exactly.
But when it touches everybody, they will know it is for everybody.
Bukwalamaje breakfast. Everybody will eat breakfast in this country. There's no way that is safe anymore. I mean, either we all join the critical mass now and make things happen. If you think you have one safe haven that you've secured yourself, you've secured your own comforts within oppression. Okay. Your breakfast is being cooked. They'll
right.
soon serve it.
This is coming from Ose saying Twitter shouldn't subject governments to the same reporting policy because by default our government have people who voted against them. If they decide to report every post of such presidents, their posts will be constantly taken down. Good. I understand your point.
This is what I said before.
Yeah.
Like, Twitter actually, the president makes a statement. It's not the same as a person.
Of
The
course.
president is an institution, so there's a
Of
way
course.
to go about that.
Of course.
But anyway, both sides
Yeah.
that they know.
This is from Abayomi saying,
Me, I know Twitter is an imperialist company.
God bless you. People who are meant to keep the law are the first to break the law, and that's where Nigeria has an issue. This is coming from Ichite.
I'm sure,
saying,
I'm not lying. Somebody in Buhari's cabinet is
Is on
operating his
Twitter.
Twitter right now with his secret account. He's talking to his people.
So Ichite is saying this same set of people used this same Twitter to hound GEJ. He did not stop them or ban Twitter. This is coming from Adebayo saying, good morning, Shewa and Ifi. On the ban of Twitter by the APC-led Buhari government.
Very well put.
Yeah, very well put. How could a tweet which violated the ethics of Twitter be removed and the entire APC government suspended the microblogging media outfit, citing a threat to our corporate existence? Sheung, is the creation on open grazing routes this president trying to bring on in this 21st century as against the Southern Governor's declaration against open grazing of cattle, not a threat than the ban on Twitter? So you're saying, isn't that more of a threat than this ban on Twitter? Sheung, is the cattle business now a source of the country's means of revenue? Isn't the business not a private business? Why is the president so concerned about a private business in this way? This is coming from a listener saying, good morning. Sheung's analysis style is suitable for IFM. Please bring Guru to discuss these things. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is the people's perspective. Maybe if you were paying more attention, you will make that statement. This is coming from Emmanuel saying, this government has nothing to offer the people. They failed on all sides. This same social media was used by them in 2014. So they know the power of social media and they're doing everything to close down social media. Jaja is saying, I totally agree with Sheung. I've been waiting for when the entire workforce of Nigeria, both the public and private sector, go on strike to ask the president to resign due to the dilapidated state of the country. All right, let's move on to other stories. We've spent a lot of time on this. Let's just take a look at a few things that the president said during his interview with Arise TV. We did see that yesterday. One particular area of interest to the citizenry was when the president had said that last year's End SARS protest against police brutality was aimed at removing him from office. Now, he stated that those who participated in the protest have made Nigeria unattractive to investors. He also blamed the protest on the dwindling inflow of foreign direct investment into the country. He was asked how, he could improve foreign direct investments in Nigeria. And he said, and I quote, this question was answered last year when there was the End SARS protest. You remember the young people that wanted to march here and remove me? tell the young people to behave themselves and make the country safe. Then we can attract real investors to the company. Now, Shehu, we know that the NSAS protest categorically stated that it was against police brutality. And eventually people were also airing their grievances about how dysfunctional the system Nigeria is. Now, the president being asked questions, as regards how they want to improve foreign direct investment in Nigeria, he pushes the blame to the youth, saying that if you tell the young people to behave themselves, then Nigeria will become attractive enough for these foreign investors.
But do you know, Buhari is giving you people the most honest answer I think any president can ever give us.
Okay.
But we don't understand. Buhari is letting you know he's a stooge for imperialism. And the number one thing is that this state must be a police state where there is no noise, where we can be oppressed in peace, where international corporations can come and exploit you and you will not protest. That's what the international community wants. See, America and England, they give Nigeria millions of dollars in arms every year. What do you think they give those training for to the Nigerian police? Britain trains SARS, Israel come here, they train them, train our police. Go and look at the history of countries like Brazil. You understand? The Middle East, Iraq, all these countries Nigeria is an imperialist controlled nation. So when you hear foreign investment, when you hear free trade agreement, it's just, as Noam Chomsky put it, investors' right agreement.
Interesting.
Finish. So Buhari is letting you know that you are letting this world know that I cannot control you, and they will not come with their money if you are uncontrollable. And it's just the fact. Imperialists will not bring their money to a nation where they know the local citizens are politically aware and agitating for their rights. That is not investor friendly, and it's true. It's not investor friendly because those investors are coming to exploit, and they know if we are politically, it will resist the exploitation. You understand? So he's saying we should behave ourselves if we want foreign investment. We know that Nigeria does not need foreign investment so this overemphasizing on foreign investment, I don't understand it. Nigeria has the three most important things for any developing nation. A large population.
That's human resources.
Natural resources. And underdevelopment. You see, if we're already developed and we're now stuck like this, like many European nations, they don't know what to do because they are developed and they are stuck. But you see, Nigeria, we are underdeveloped. Developing this country, using the resources of this country to invest in the people of this country is going to create massive economic growth. Imagine saying in government, say, okay, I want to bring Nigeria's healthcare system to world-class level. Imagine the investment that would take. Imagine what that means. That means 775 local governments. We need to have 774 at least primary healthcare centers with emergency service, agents to answer call, ambulance drivers, people to train the ambulance drivers, the paramedics, people to train the paramedics, the boom in the nursing, people becoming training of nursing, people that will train the nurses. All these things will massively boost our economy. Even if you take that step, take it to education, take it to telecommunications, whatever it is, even housing. Imagine if Nigeria now said, we want to house our people. Take control of our limestone, not make it somebody's private business. Use it for what it's there for. Our cement is to give us homes first, not to make anybody a billionaire. Our ancestors used to build with mud, and those buildings are still standing today. Where are the brick factories to turn this mud that we have in abundance into brick, just to bake it, finish? A factory to bake the mud, turn it to brick, use it for buildings. All over Nigeria. Imagine the amount of employment. So when these people are saying foreign investment, it is their laziness. Nigeria is already over 70% foreign owned. All our big telcos are foreign owned. All our big TV, DSTV, foreign owned. Oil companies, foreign owned. What do we actually own in this country? What have we decided to build in this country? I don't know. It is the service industry, servicing the foreigners. All our big men are doing service industry, linking themselves. Even our banks that we think are owned by us, my sister, go and look at their shareholders. They are all owned by all these Citibank, Morgan Stanley, Carlyle Group. They all have huge shares and stake in these banks. You understand what I'm saying? So what do we actually own? What are we actually doing? You know, so me, I don't want to hear foreign investment. What he's saying is right about foreign investment.
Someone said I should tell you to behave yourself, otherwise you might not get a job as a youth.
I don't already have job as a youth. I've been in this country. Listen, I've been in this country since 7th of December 2019. I've not done one job. You know, so I'm already unemployed as is. You know, don't worry, you can't threaten me with that.
All right, let's take this Lagos Talks. Hello, good afternoon, or good morning rather.
Good morning, Sheon and Ifi.
Good morning, who's speaking?
Deji from Shita.
All right, let's hear you.
Good morning.
Okay.
I want
Good morning,
Shita.
Sheon. How are you doing?
I did, my brother.
I'm calling from downtown Shita in Medube.
Ah, okay. How you doing?
Yes.
Inu
I'm
lady
very
here.
fine.
Inu adugbo finally they were here.
Inu le gangan mo ti pe agbele. Yeah. Abba la man pe inu Abba. Yes. Anyway, number one, the train from Lagos to Ibadan will take you 2 hours 45 minutes. With 6,000, 5,000, the lowest or the cheapest one is 2,500. I think it doesn't make no sense. From federal government, there's no discount, there's anything. If you buy a fuel in your car from Ibadan to Lagos and come back, a 5,000 fuel will take you from to and fro. Thank you. So there is no any common sense in it. On Niwalara. Number two, about 2 turbans. Right from the presidency to governors to the minister, they are tweeting at the back of the door. It's like them taking drug. It's like them taking drug. They are just making younger.
Please, can you speak as much English as you can speak so that I can also understand what you're saying?
Number three, with the interview of the presidency or the Mr. President yesterday, he always go off the line from all the questions being answered from Ruben Abachi and his crew. The president never answered a single question rightly. He got off the track. That means you are very right that it's a lack of just not an interview. Thank you very much.
All right. This is coming from a listener saying, Shehu, is this not the same government whereby the AGF Malami tweeted and his cryptocurrency app was seen when he screenshot and posted it on social media?
After they banned crypto.
Exactly.
Listen, I tell you, I'm giving you gist about this government. Trust me. All these things, what they want to do, our government in Africa, that's why the president of Nigeria, our governors, our ministers cannot actually give people political education. It is the duty of our government to let the people know where we are in the world politically, to let people know where they're coming from, where we are right now, and where we are trying to go.
Indeed.
But you can see that they don't have such conversations with us. Why? Because they're not our government. They are our supervisors. I mean, that's why everybody is telling us to behave ourselves. My masters are not happy. They won't come if you are not acting like I'm supervising you.
This is coming from Ola saying, good morning. I'm totally against the word of the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who said Twitter and other social media platforms should register and pay taxes in the country. Totally wrong statement. Reason and examples is, did Twitter as a company force or ask any of the Nigerians to download their app on Play Store or iOS? Also, will you collect tax from Gmail and Yahoo, etc.? You use these to send emails as well.
Yeah, I mean, we should tax these companies if they have operations in Nigeria.
There you go, but they don't.
But they actually kind of do.
They don't.
Twitter
doesn't.
If we can find,
Ghana.
if we can find a way to tax them, we should. Because Nigerians usually they make money off us. I mean, we have a right to get a piece of the pie. Where is our patriotism? I know why Nigerians are not patriotic. It's because of these people that rule us. They've killed the spirit. We don't think nationally. Nigerians, if Jack Dorsey and Buhari were to do like a boxing match, to decide this whole Twitter stuff, I'm sure all Nigerians will be rooting for Jack Dorsey to knock our president out.
Hey, well,
And
that's
this is just
I hope
not
not.
patriotic.
Yeah, no,
It's not patriotic.
No, this is coming from
It's just not
a
patriotic.
listener saying, "Good morning, Ife and Cheon. So the youth that behaved themselves marches against Jonathan with APC and voted him in power didn't. I'm so sorry, I don't understand a few of the things you're saying, but if you could resend it, make it more understandable. This is coming from a listener. It's called TPP, not PPP, so it's the people's perspective. And he's saying,
How worked it?
he said, behave yourself, or if not, you won't have work till 2023, except Blue Moon in Japan. So please, Sheon, praise and grease their ego so that they can allow us have a show in Shrine.
I know, I'm still playing in Shrine. But last month, for some reason, there was the mother of all hold-ups. As in, getting to my show at the Shrine was so difficult. I mean, well, I hope that this month it doesn't happen like that, and we can really have a good show.
This is coming from a listener saying, if you post inappropriate content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the system automatically deletes the post. Their system is built to identify such and delete. Twitter supported NSA's protest, but called the Capitol Hill protest an insurrection because of their political leaning. Twitter allows Nnamdi Kanu's tweets, yet deleted the president's tweets against known criminals. It wasn't directed at the East. But I want to say something. You need to separate these things, okay? Because you're lumping things that are not similar. The NSA's protest, you cannot liken it to what happened in Capitol Hill. The NSA's protest started on the basis of the youth coming together to speak against police brutality. It's two different things. So you cannot compare it with what happened in the Capitol Hill. Yes, we know that it degenerated sadly because there are people that took advantage of it and started causing mayhem. But that's not what it was originally.
I mean, I think that's an escalation, not degeneration. Let's use escalate.
Well,
Escalated.
you think it escalated. I think it degenerated.
I think it escalated.
I think it degenerated. This is coming from
when we liberated all the palliatives.
Adegboyega saying, what is
Did you people
cattle?
at Lekki know that there was palliative?
What is cattle route for God's sake in 2021 in 21st century? Nitori alone.
There's
How
no
will
such thing, it's
Nigeria
ranches.
progress when her number one man, the president, speaks in that manner? He didn't even address the farmers' complaints and inability to farm due to herders invading and encroachment.
The problem is that federal government has land in every state. If Buhari so much wants his cattle not to be ranched, because as I said, all this violence we are going through in Nigeria, if all the so-called legitimate members of Miyetti Allah call all their cattle herders back to base, that okay, for 2 months, everybody sit in the base, let's be able to weed out the criminals, Nigeria will solve this problem quite easily. Call all your cattle back to base so that the nation knows, okay, we are not heading right now. So what are these people? Right? Because apparently what the security operatives are saying is that it's the cattle herders that are giving these bandits, cover while they move across cities and states. And if you if you take away their cover, that allows them to move, their mobility, you have basically won the war, because an army that cannot move, that is not mobile, is defeated. You understand? So, but nobody is even talking about this. Okay, ranching is the second best option. Okay, we are going to stop all this, ban open grazing. We said this since last year.
Yeah, we spoke
have
about
to
this
ban
last year.
open grazing, not create grazing routes. And if the government really want grazing routes, the state governors should tell them to be using federal land. They should find federal land. They should not let them cross through any state-owned land,
Indeed.
Or personal lands.
All right. Let's move on to the last story that we have. As we know, June 12th is tomorrow, and we're going to be commemorating the Democracy Day. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has directed Zonal Assistant Inspectors General
I can't
of
do anything on June 12th
Police
because my
and
father will slap
Commissioners
me.
of Police in states and FCT to deal firmly with any person or group who may want to take advantage of the event to threaten the internal security order. Speaking during a meeting with strategic commanders of the Nigerian police force in Abuja, the IGP urged them to remain civil with law-abiding citizens during the Democracy Day celebration. He said, and I quote, "The June 12th Democracy Day is days away," and this is when he was speaking a few days ago. "We are currently reviewing the security situation with a view to ensuring a hitch-free exercise. Details of this will form part of our discussion. I must, however, remind you all of the need to remain civil with law-abiding citizens, but firm with any person or group that may wish to take advantage of the event to threaten our internal security order. Now, Shehu, we know that it's June 12 tomorrow, and there are groups that have decided that they're going to go out there to protest against bad governance and a whole lot of things that they're experiencing as Nigerians. Taking it back to what happened during EndSARS, where people did plan some more protests after, but the federal government vehemently instructed that no such thing should happen, because then it will be seen as, a form of insurrection. Now, the IGP has ordered the commissioners of police, saying that they should be firm with anyone that wants to threaten the internal security of the country. However, they should be civil with those who are law-abiding. Now, for tomorrow, do you think that the police officials will indeed be able to distinguish rightly between those who are law-abiding and those who are threatening the internal security? And underneath this umbrella of threatening internal security and law-abiding, what does it mean to the government? Who would they see as law-abiding and who would they see as those threatening? If the people that are protesting against bad governance, would they be seen as threatening?
But we've known
threatening the internal security.
From day one that all these things is open to interpretation. The Nigerian government can interpret anything the way they like. I mean, Dasuki can be in jail for corruption. That he had money, he was sharing money. While Ganduje is left alone, while the two was seen accepting money on camera. Well, we all saw it. So, Nigerian law is open to the interpretation of our political elites. So the thing about me and June 12, if you know the history of my father and Abiola, and I don't want to, as they say, ruin his parade. Let me not sound like a sore loser, but June 12 is a weird date for me. My family has a serious tied to that date so much. My uncle, Dr. Beko, sacrificed so much for that date. Went to prison for 3 years for June 12 struggle, while my father was on the extreme spectrum. So very good for him. That Abiola should be locked up. But anyway, I mean, June 12 is not about Abiola really anymore. It's about we the people and the amount of great men and women that actually stood on that date and used it to bring about this democracy that we have today. Regardless of what they have become today. Because when you remember men like Asiwaju, Bola Tinubu back then, well, not Asiwaju, but Bola Tinubu back then, my uncle Dr. Beko, the late Yinka Odumaki. I mean, many of them. I mean, even Fayemi, of the governor of Ekiti State, and all these people back then, and to see what they've become today, it's weird. It's really weird. But that's such is life. But let's move on. That brought us this democracy that we had. That endless struggle. So I think it's a day that people, if we are seeing that democracy, that struggle is still being betrayed, it is our duty to still continue the struggle, regardless. So, I mean, as I've said, there's no hiding place from the issues of Nigeria.
Indeed.
Whether you think you've secured your own safe haven, trust me, they're coming to scatter it sooner or later.
Wow.
So let's all continue this struggle for Nigeria to be what we know it can be. A nation that truly represents all of us,
I think my fear for tomorrow is when it comes, because you mentioned that whenever the government puts out a statement or members of political office put out a statement, it's open to interpretation. And from the precedent that has been set and the things that we've seen, experienced so far, I fear that the interpretation that this is open to is the fact that anybody that seems to oppose the government will be seen as a threat. So even the innocent ones that go out there to protest against bad governance will be seen as those that are threatening internal security order. And that is, a very, very scary terrain to be in. Because tomorrow people want to go and express their fundamental human rights, to speak up against insecurity, bad governance, lack of resources, and the list goes on and on. And so I just believe people should be careful. This is the country that we live in right now. So tomorrow, like I mentioned, the Inspector General of Police has ordered the commissioners to ensure that they are firm with people who seem to threaten the internal security order. And as we know, this government is not necessarily aligned with youths coming out to protest against bad governance, because then it's seen as them opposing them or threatening, this government. So tomorrow, you need to ensure that if you're going to be out there for a protest, be extremely careful, like you did during NSAS protest. If you were a part of that, don't go alone, go with a group of people. Ensure that you're aware of your environment. Please be safe.
Yes, and also we know that this is Lagos. You cannot be too safe. As I said, you can be in your car driving, container will fall down.
Sadly.
Crush someone in your car. This is the Nigeria we live in. The moment you step your foot out of your house, people get roasted every day. Look at the news. Trailer exploding, killing people, fire everywhere, gas passing other people's, a whole neighborhood. Remember that one? The whole neighborhood, the whole school was eviscerated.
School, yeah, that was...
with children and everything, so this is the country we live in. Struggling for a better Nigeria is probably one of the safest things you can do. Because regardless, that harm you are afraid of, say this country is preparing it. It's preparing it. And that is what we want to change. We want a country where we no longer are living whether we are sure of existing or not. So I think that is, for me, what should be at the back of our minds. We have to be careful, but one cannot be too careful. One cannot be too careful. This is Nigeria. Our government is not securing us, so we can't be too careful.
Indeed.
Let us do what you feel is right tomorrow. That's what I say to everybody. When they ask me, should I go and protest? I say, do what you feel is right.
I like that.
Yes.
All right, let's just take a few more calls and then we'll wrap up for today. Please turn off your radio. Good afternoon. Good morning. My name is Ife. Good morning. Who's speaking?
Mr. Shehu Kuti, good morning.
I no be Mr. I never miss my star, my brother.
Okay.
Just Shehu.
Good morning, Shehu Kuti.
Thank you, my brother.
Nice hearing from you for the first time.
Thank you,
But I've
brother.
been following your programs anyway. My name is Enlade. I'm calling you from Obalende.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Ife, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I agree with what you said, and I love the fact that a lot of us in the North feels like, the action of the president is protecting the Northerners. It's actually not. And with what is happening in Nigeria, our region are suffering. I traveled last week to Bauchi. I came back on Thursday. Last week Thursday, anyway. And on my way between Bauchi and Jos and Bauchi, I saw herders. You understand, with their cattle. Some people's farm. I saw these two women. They were looking helpless, like they just sat under the tree. From the express I could see them. You understand? And these are not the kind of things that we grow up to see. This is abnormal for me, where you are using your own business to destroy other people's business. But one good thing that the Holy Quran says that be just to people you consider even unbeliever, that is people that you don't even share the same religion with. And at the end of it, there is judgment for however you live your life, and God reserves that judgment for himself. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. It is 11:58. We should be wrapping this right here, right now. Remember, today's episode was brought to you by Adam and Eve. This is a platform or a brand that inspires,
the best store in Nigeria.
that inspires,
Adam and Eve
that
is
inspires
the best
luxury living defined by
If
comfort, elegance, and creativity.
This is a schedule. It's the best store. It's the best store.
You make me weak, man. I'm tired.
Best store.
I'm tired.
Adam and Eve. In fact, we should switch best store for Adam and Eve. If you say I'm looking for the best store, I'm looking for Adam and Eve. That's how you should. This should be in the lingua now.
I'm looking for the best. I'm looking for Adam and Eve. So, if you are looking for a home luxury store, it's Adam and Eve. It has everything that you could possibly think about. And when you get into the building, it's an experience from the door, right from the door, because it's segmented into different parts of your house.
That is what really got me as well.
Yeah. It's segmented into different parts of your house. So you have the particular segment for the living room, for the outdoor area, for the bathroom, for your kids' room, and everything that you can possibly think about is right there. And even things that you did not even know that you needed is right there. So visit Adam and Eve for all your homewares. And this is located at Isaac John, and it's in Ikeja, GRA. Right here in Lagos.
You don't talk so you don't know road. Ask Google. The modern day Ifa. Just ask Ifa. Google. Adam and Eve. Just.
Oh my goodness. All right. A big thank you to our sponsors, Adam and Eve. And thank you to everyone who was a part of the show today. Sheon, it's always a pleasure having you here before saying goodbye.
You know me, I always love sitting next to you for an hour every Friday. It's why I work here. I've told everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so, thank you everybody for listening to the show. And as usual, Lagos drivers, you know, after 2 days, Thursday and Wednesday, IGP block Lagos. Thursday, Buhari, 1 kilos. Today, let's just give ourselves road. Rain don't fall. I don't see everybody relax.
Cool down. Calm your nerves. All right. Thank you so much. Share your handle, Sean.
Big Bird Kuti on Instagram. Real Sean Kuti on Twitter. All of now we get VPN. And Sean Klabu Kuti on Facebook.
All right, guys. And big thank you to everyone who joined us live from Sean's Instagram page to be a part of the show today. We love you very much. Thank you so much for your consistency. And thank you for everyone who's tuned in from wherever it is that you're tuning in from. Thank you for your support and your consistency. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Ify_I. That is IFY_I. And Lagos Talks is at Lagos Talks 913 across all social media platforms. If you've missed out on any of the episodes of The People's Perspective, not to worry. It's up on our YouTube channel, Lagos Talks 913. So check out our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, watch our videos, like our videos, comment on those videos, share those videos, and enjoy our videos. Coming up next is the World News coming to you live from our media studios. The midday show is still on, and I have amazing content for you. Remember, at 1 p.m., it's your favorite talk show with your favorite ladies. It's called The Dish, and a whole lot is coming your way on The Dish today. So ensure that you're a part of this journey. Thank you so much once again for being a part of The People's Perspective. Stick around.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.